Hello, this is a Steinway Model B grand piano that's 6 foot 11 inches long, made in 1925 and fully restored German Steinway, just come onto the showroom floor. Steinway Model B grand pianos are, in the opinion of many musicians and technicians, one of the very best grand pianos ever made, especially from the 1920s. And we've not left anything undone on this piano. We've really tried to restore it in great detail, as you can see. This is the bridge that's been recapped, the soundboard's been refinished, and down bearing's been adjusted to the correct down bearing as well. The rest plank, that's the tuning block underneath where the tuning pins go into, is Canadian rock maple, which is, I think, the preferred one for Steinways really. And the bass strings are Heller bass, that's German bass strings, so the parts are German and exactly what Steinways would have put in their own pianos. In this video I want to concentrate on the final regulation of touch and tone. So regulation of the action here, that's 11mm or just under 11mm, which is my preferred depth really on of touch on Steinways. And all pianos I prefer 11mm, sometimes it's set a bit less, but this is just less than 11mm, but not much. Now the down weight is set at 50 grams, which is ideal for if you want to play, if you're a classical musician, want to practice, want to study the piano, then this is the ideal down weight. So if you play concert grounds, you'll find they're 50 grams normally, sometimes very slightly heavier. If we try in the top treble, you see it's slightly lighter, it's going down quicker, so that's more like 48 grams, and in the bass it's going to be slightly heavier. This is the bass, measured with the sustain pedal down, by the way, and if we just tap the bottom you can see it's starting to go down. This is 52 grams, so 52 in the bass, graduating to 50 in the middle, and then 48 in the top treble. It's also important to set the up weight as low as possible, ideally. This up weight is about 21, which is ideal. It gives you a wonderful touch if you have a low up weight. It just feels as though you're really in control of the keys, so that's the weight at which the key will come up. If I put too much weight on it, won't come up. The action's been fitted with Steinway hammers, shanks and rollers. That's the hammers, shanks and rollers. Plenty of other videos we talked about changing those. It's so important really. And the hammers have been voiced. If you can see, whenever a hammer looks a bit sort of bitty on the side, it means it's been voiced. You might actually be able to pick out some little holes made by the voicing needles, and I think the lines on the top are pronounced enough for me to voice the unicorder and check that as well without having to make lines on the top. Usually I'm making lines with carbon paper so that on new hammers, but these ones have just been, having sort of been working on them, they ended up with slight indentation, which enables us to do that. I just inherited this voicing toning needles from a tuner who's just retired, and he used to do a lot of concert grand pianos, so he was doing grand pianos, and I think this is very beautifully chunky and nice on the feel. This is my standard one, which also doubles up as an upright one. If you can see there, you can swivel it, you can screw it out, swivel it for upright pianos, which is very useful. So the main voicing has been done while the pianos were taken out of the packet, and all together they would have been voiced down here, and then the shoulders have been voiced. So and I think they're voiced sufficiently, so if you dig the needles in, they're quite soft now, so there's a good bounce in the hammer. And now we need to just gently voice the top, not very deep, as I've said many times before, 1.5mm maximum I think, and I'm going to voice in between here first of all, so the unicorder pedal, when the hammer moves over, that's where it'll sound softer, and then very gentle voicing on the top here if necessary. Let's listen to a couple of hammers and see if we can hear it on the video. So if you listen to hammers next to each other, those are roughly the same, and that's a brighter one, especially if we play it louder. That might be slightly too bright, but that one particularly stands out, so let's have a look at voicing that one. That's the B flat hammer I've voiced. First of all, where it doesn't hit in normal position, so if you press that on the quarter pedal, it moves over to that position. And I just fluff it up slightly just to help me remember which ones I've done. And then in between, and then on the top. So obviously I'm supporting the hammer with something when I'm doing it. It's not like this. You need the other hand, at least, if not a block of wood, to voice the hammers. And then you can see that one's done. Then we can copy what we do on that one with other ones with the unicorder voicing, and then just check the whole lot to make sure we've done them accurately. So now the B flat's just about right. If we listen to the A B flat, if you play it quietly, I think for quiet playing the A is perhaps just slightly too bright. B flat is ideal, and for loud playing that's ideal as well. So very encouraged and very pleased with the tone of this piano. Also for the unicorder, if we listen, there's a definite contrast on that note now, and not really on that one. Because as the piano's played in and played for a long time, the hammers do harden up at the normal striking point, and then as you play the unicorder, it's going to be softer anyway. But it's good to, and a lot of concert pianists like unicorder pedal contrast as well. So that's a Steinway Model B grand piano made in 1925, fully restored, German grand, 6'11" long. And just looking at some of the fine refinements that need doing, I'm very encouraged by the touch, very pleased. I think because we've got such a low up weight, it feels to me, and this is honestly true, that better than a new one. I prefer the touch on the 20s pianos anyway, and if they're really well regulated. And this one plays very, very fluidly and beautifully. You can get power on it, and delicacy as well. It's been regulating, the fine regulating as well, and we'll continue to do that until the piano is sold, and even after then we give clients a check sheet which they can go through if they want any further fine regulation. So regulation and voicing never stop really. You try and refine them as much as you can. There's a 10-year guarantee on this piano, and I can honestly say that it is one of the best that we've ever had. Similar to the one we did 2 years ago. The touch, I feel, is particularly special on this one. Thank you very much for listening.